Did a spacecraft roll the stone away on the resurrection morning? Is that what the Bible clearly teaches? Welcome to the Jeff Darty Show, Christian Whistleblower, New Cosmic Knowledge YouTube channel. I'm Jeffrey Darty, your host, and we want to look at the actual wording and language of the New Testament in the original Greek translated into literal English to see if, in fact, a spacecraft may have rolled the stone away on resurrection morning, as crazy as that may sound. The birth of Jesus, the death of Jesus, now the resurrection of Jesus. If you've listened to our last two videos, which I'll link in the box below, we talked about UFO, ET, alien imagery at the birth, and UFO, ET, alien imagery at the crucifixion of Jesus. Now, this is the mind-blowing story of the resurrection morning. This is one you definitely won't hear in Sunday school. Behold, great earthquake. Angel of the Lord descends. Rolled back the stone, sat upon it. Countenance like lightning, raiment white as snow. And for fear of the keepers did shake. And for fear of him the keepers did shake, became as dead men. Let's look at the original Greek. Behold, there was a great earthquake. There was a great shaking like seismic activity. Exactly the same scenario caused by the withdrawal of the mothership at the crucifixion. Again, that video is linked in the box below. Was it caused by the return of that mothership? Or maybe it was a fathership in this case. Because the messenger of the Lord was descending or coming down out of the visible heavens. Something visible was indeed descending, coming down, or arriving in the heavens or skies, the visible skies, that's what the word means, around Jerusalem. So a great shaking like seismic activity was happening because the messenger of the Lord was descending, coming down out of the visible heavens. And as the messenger drew near, the shaking caused the stone to roll away. All right, that's it. End of video. If you have two objective brain cells to rub together, we really don't have to go any further. As this thing came near, enough force was exerted by its arrival to once again cause gravestones to roll away, just like the departure of the mothership at the crucifixion. His outward appearance was like a flash of lightning. This being is just like the ones the shepherds saw at the birth of Jesus. At this point, I want to add a little bonus to you, give you a description of these beings given to us by the Christ. The phrase here translated, appearing in a flash of lightning, occurs in two other places in the New Testament, and only two. This is why you watch the Christian Whistleblower, because you can't get this kind of stuff anywhere else. And 35, 36 years of my life has gone into it. But you know, it's what I do. It's my hobby. It's my fun. It's what I am. So one of the places is Luke 18, and it's used to describe an entity that the Christ called Satan in King James parlance, but which actually is correctly rendered adversary. And since the definite article is used, really the Christ was saying the adversary. Again, let me just show you. The exact language that is used to describe the descent of this messenger in this verse is the exact language used by the Christ to describe an appearance of Satan or his great adversary. Now that should give you something new to ponder. And that brings up a very interesting scenario. The writer of Matthew identifies this entity as an angel, specifically an angel of the Lord. The Christ is quoted in the book of Luke using the exact same language to describe Satan or his great adversary. Matthew and Luke were written very close together. Matthew maybe a year later. From a strictly textual viewpoint, we have no choice but to conclude that the angels of the Lord were and are considered adversarial by the Christ. Now in this passage concerning the resurrection, those keeping guard at his tomb became as dead men. This is exactly what happened to Mary at her impregnation by the Lord. It is completely consistent with sleep paralysis that's nearly ubiquitous in all ET alien visitation and abduction scenarios. Wow. Let's combine the literal portions of the text here and get it all together. There was a great shaking like seismic activity because something was coming down out of the sky, a messenger of the Lord. The shaking was so great that it caused the stone sealing the tomb to roll away. Suddenly, there was one like lightning, and those attending were so frightened that they fell over as if they were dead. Now, folks, clearly, when we combine our knowledge of what occurred at the conception, birth, and crucifixion of Jesus, we can now conclude that at the resurrection of Jesus, we see the arrival of a great ship, probably the same one that departed a couple of days before, depending upon your theology, at the crucifixion, causing the stone sealing tomb of Jesus to roll away in the same fashion as gravestones rolled away at the crucifixion. We then see the messenger of the Lord appear in a flash of bright light. We've been taught that an angel came. Now, seeing and understanding the literal language, do you really think so? We also see what is described as an angel of the Lord, which the Christ called an adversarial entity in another New Testament passage penned right about the same time. So again, folks, classic UFO ET alien imagery used in one of the great acts and works of the life of Jesus. We can't trust the biblical veracity of even such foundational events as the birth, crucifixion, and resurrection of Jesus. How does that make you feel? If you can't trust the veracity of those most basic points about Jesus you believe in, then I would say that a complete reappraisal and reassessment of your belief structure is in order. And guess what? I'm here to help you. If you look at the YouTube channel here, you see you've got the regular what's new, then you've got the last ones uploaded, then you've got, and I'm going in descending order, then you've got playlists, and right underneath playlists, there's sections. The first one is Paul a false apostle? I think the second one is Jesus fallacies, Genesis or Bethlehem to Revelation. Then there's one, is the Lord who we think he is? Then I believe there is paranormal and exorcism. And then I believe there is, give me a second, Revelation demystified. So those are sections you can go to, and those are playlists. I did my best to kind of put them in order, but they're not perfectly in order. So you can look through, and if you just click on the playlist, it'll show you all of the videos in the playlist, so you can take a look at them. So there's two common factors in every ET, UFO, and alien event in the life of Jesus. One is the presence in some form of Jesus. The other is the presence in some form of the Lord. Now, how curious that in all the passages, the Lord's a dominant figure and Jesus is the submissive figure. The Lord supposedly sires Jesus. Then the Lord welcomes Jesus as his offspring. The Lord allows Jesus to be crucified, but leaves him hanging on the cross when clearly Jesus was expected to be taken away. Next, the Lord leaves Jesus in the grave for, depending upon your theology, 3 days or 3 nights, clearly displaying his preeminence over him. Finally, it's only at the Lord's return that Jesus is able to get out of that grave and finally catch his delayed flight home. Someone desperately wants us to believe in Jesus. And that someone also desperately wants us to believe that the Lord is greater than Jesus. They want us to believe in plastic Jesus, but they really want us to believe that the Lord is the Father and superior of plastic Jesus. Really good stuff there. Really strong stuff there. And this is the final message of the last apostle that we're reading from. And it's a great book. I encourage you to get it. And with that information, what say you? Did a spacecraft roll the stone away on resurrection morning? Did it? Did it? Did it? Is it possible? Is it easier to believe than the story taught you in Sunday school? I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower. I encourage you to be an unindoctrinator. Share this on social media. Sponsor my work. One click at my website, jeffreydaugherty.com, for PayPal or Patreon. I'm the only one bringing this kind of information. I'm the only one that has been talking about it for 2,000 years since John left the scene. We're here to unwind your mind. We're here to help you unindoctrinate yourself and to encourage you to be excellent to each other.